Hi, I'm going to show you an axillary block, very easy. This gentleman is going to have an elbow surgery. It's an olecranon ORIF. So we're going to put an axillary block. He has a general anesthetics, 50 fentanyl, usual other stuff, and he's on spontaneous breathing now. This block is very easy.
This block is performed at the distal end of the brachial plexus, right after the cords have given rise to the individual branches. Here we see the axilla as viewed from the front, with the arm abducted to the left. The clavicle and chest wall are on the right or medial side, and the pec major and minor muscles have been cut and reflected back to reveal the axillary artery and brachial plexus. Let's focus here. This will represent the location and orientation of our ultrasound transducer. You'll see that we're centered over the axillary artery and a number of nerve branches. Anterior to the neurovascular structures lie the coracobrachialis muscle and the short head of the biceps. Posterior and deep to the neurovascular structures lie two muscles that share a so-called conjoint tendon. These muscles are the latissimus dorsi and the teres major. The conjoint tendon will be an important sonographic landmark when we scan. We'll also be able to see the individual nerve branches at this location. The median nerve is here, superficial, and on the same side as the coracobrachialis. The ulnar nerve is also superficial, but on the other side of the artery, above the conjoint tendon. The musculocutaneous nerve usually takes off early from the lateral cord and veers away from the artery, traveling through the coracobrachialis muscle before emerging between the biceps and coracobrachialis. Also pictured here is the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm. This is a branch of the medial cord and travels close to the axillary artery for a time before emerging to supply the skin of the medial forearm and distal arm. We often don't appreciate this nerve on the ultrasound scan. Okay, what's missing? Yeah, the radial nerve. Well, that's because in this view, it runs deep to the axillary artery, just superficial to the conjoint tendon. The axillary vein has also been removed in this figure. To be complete, there are two more nerves pictured here that are relevant to blocking the upper limb. This is the medial cutaneous nerve of the arm, an early branch of the medial cord that is far enough away from the neurovascular bundle at this location that we miss it with the axillary brachial plexus block. It supplies, not surprisingly, the skin of the medial arm down to the elbow. And this is the intercostal brachial nerve, which is not a part of the brachial plexus, but innervates the upper portion of the medial arm close to the axilla.
Everything is around the artery. So if you catch the artery, you will always see the nerves. The artery. What's there? It's the median, lateral, and posterior cords. Yeah, they become different nerves: median nerve, ulnar nerve, and radial nerve. And also you got the musculocutaneous nerve. And the musculocutaneous nerve is very easy to find because it's in the muscle. And you see, all this black thing is a muscle, and you have a nerve here. Nerves got more whitish look because there are lots of fibers when the ultrasound hits, and that's how it reflects. It's more white here. So that's the musculocutaneous nerve. And let's go near the artery. And around the artery, the other three nerves are there. Median nerve. Here, on this side, is the ulnar nerve, and just under there is the radial nerve. That's the needle, and that's the musculocutaneous nerve. Yeah.
Injecting now.
Yeah. That's spreading around maybe. One sec. Concentrate and go under it. Yeah, aspirated injector.
Aspirating.
Okay, good. Now since we are here, I could adjust this needle. Can you show how I'm adjusting as well? And go here. That's going under the radial nerve. Yeah. Okay. It's going down there. Let me go. Yeah, aspirate and inject. You can see how the local spreading around there. Good. Now let me puncture this layer and go the other side of the artery and try to inject a little bit in. Yeah, now that's better. That is spreading under. Yeah, that's the tip of the needle. Let me pass a bit more on the local anesthetic, the fluid area. Aspirate and inject. Yeah, okay. So that's fantastic, spreading down, fantastic. So we've given about 5 minutes there.
5 minutes.
That's good. Now I need to go and find the other nerves. So I go superficially. This is my needle. Scan better the whole length of it. Okay. And you see this is the nerve here. Arteries. You can pulsating artery, you could see it. And that's the nerve. It's a huge nerve there. Okay, aspirate please. Yeah. Okay. The best thing is to hydrodissect in this area. Alright. So you don't damage any structures. Aspirate and inject, that's the tip. Aspirate and inject, okay. Let me go again, sliding on this top sheet there. Again, aspirate and inject. So even if you're not sure about the structures, if you slide through rather than cutting through them, you have a better chance, okay. So okay, I'm not sure where the tip of the needle, I want to see it before I advance more. Not that side, this side. Okay, aspirate and inject. Yeah. Okay, aspirate and inject. Okay, that's a tip. You could see the nerve under that. Okay, I'm compressing the nerve. Yeah, the tip, and that's the nerve is under there. That's the ulnar nerve. Okay, aspirate and inject. Okay, and if you go in this same plane a bit, you can block the C9, C8, C9 isn't that one you usually mix with this axillary block. That also pass through here. So if you leave it long, you have a few mils there.
Yeah.
In this plane, roughly, you see where it's injecting. You can't see it's a small nerve.